Previously on Azeroth Choppers.
All right, so here's the deal. Blizzard's coming today.
When the customer comes in, you want them to be able to have the whole vision and get it.
This is outrageous.
This shape looks very insectile.
The Alliance bike looks fast, and it's going to need to be, because it's going to be running away from the Horde bike.
Come on down, man. Let me show you the Horde first.
Nub is the guy who does all my paint work.
He's literally the best guy out there, in my opinion.
Oh my God.
Be careful, these will cut you, these,
Dear God. I've been working with Paul for the past 11 years. I pretty much know exactly what he's looking for.
This is your paint job right here.
Right.
Done.
Not shiny.
I don't think so, man.
Flat.
Oh, like a semi or something?
Yeah.
We have all pieces and they're kind of half done, but that's the basic principle.
No paint.
No, well, if we can do a consistent paint color, maybe we would do this blue framework, possibly front end parts.
Yeah, shiny, polished, shiny, clean, nice, and that thing's a...
Now that I talked to Nub about the project, we got to get back to work so we can give him something to paint.
I got these tusks carved out, and they're looking really cool. So what I'm trying to do right now is put these little metal effects on top and hook up some busted looking chains to it and all that good stuff.
Next step on the Horde bike is mounting the tank, mounting oil tank, and just really wrapping it up for the most part.
Today we're doing a lot of finish up little detail work on the bike. They're doing final polishing on all the sheet metal. We're making mountings for all the sheet metal to actually mount it to the bike itself.
Be the polisher sucks.
What is going on over there?
Sorry, Joe. Get completely filthy, grime everywhere. Gotta wear this dumb mask. Not cool.
So we just got back from New York. The votes aren't in yet, but I'm so sure the Horde is gonna win. I need to go talk to Andy just to make sure we can build this thing.
The design's amazing. It looked killer.
Yeah, totally cool. Paul gave me this piece.
Oh man, that is sweet.
Horde logo, obviously. They use a water cutting tool.
It totally fits. I love the shoulder pad influences here, right from the game.
Already looks really Warcrafty, you know what I mean?
I think we can totally pull that off. One question though, what's going on here? What is that exactly?
These tank treads, I'm really not sure how we're gonna make that. I think it can be done.
Yeah, really cool. Super fans are gonna totally dig these things.
We really think Team Alliance has it in the bag. So we need to head over to the World of Warcraft team to get working on our bike to give us a little bit of a head start.
A little souvenir from Paul Jr. Shop. Check that out.
Is it for me?
No. You have to give that back.
So we're here to give you a quest. We're wondering if there's any way we can get a leg up on putting the in-game bike together to give us that extra oomph against the Horde bike.
This front tread freaks me out a little bit more than the rear. It's got to turn now.
Yeah. Do you feel like you have enough here to get started?
Totally, man. We can't wait to get building this thing. It's going to be amazing.
All right,
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Andy. Working on this thing. Make it happen.
Thanks, Andy.
All right, guys, don't tell Horde. Putting one of these mounts in the game involves a lot of people, and I'd love to sort of walk you through the process. This is the Sky Golem. He's a vehicle in World of Warcraft. We're using the exact same process when we implement the winning bike. Once we get the design done, our artists take it into a piece of software called 3D Studio Max to build it. And you can see here how complicated the wireframe looks. Once the artist is finished modeling the design, they actually kind of unwrap all the geometry so it's flat, and then go into Photoshop and you can see here the actual geometry laid out. And on top of that, they can actually go in and paint. The texturing process, it defines all the surfaces, how it's going to feel, what it's made out of. And here you can see this is a pretty cool texture, it's all painted like the metal. Once it's actually been textured, we then go into the rigging phase. And that's where we put a skeleton inside the model. So here you see the interior structure of the model. This allows the animators to manipulate different joints. You see the piece starts getting complicated when we start adding the animation, and if I slide the slider, you can see it kind of moving around, doing stuff. If you look closely, you can see all these pieces falling off the model. Those are particles, or the special effects, so like the smoke, the fire, the sparks. You can see they're animating too, but they kind of have gravity to them, they're kind of spewing out. We take it into a proprietary piece of software called Preview 3, where we actually hook up all the final gameplay pieces. And here it is, the final model, what it will look like in the game. You can actually play and watch all the animations play in here. There's the parts I was talking about, the little bubbles coming off, the fire coming off the rear of the feet. And then we put that into the game and the players get to enjoy it. And that's what it takes to put one of these models into the game.
We should get the tank mounted and this stuff mounted tomorrow. That should be the game plan for sure.
By now, usually this really looks like something. It's not. We got to get the shield, handlebars, tank, rear section. I just want to get a few more pieces at least in place. I still got to try and figure out front fender on here or something.
That is going to be nuts.
It looks good and all, but we got a long way to go. We have floorboards, handlebars, an air cleaner for that side, and there's like a month of welding on this. We got to figure out how to get this done.
I can't remember the last time I was as exhausted as I am today. If I wasn't fully inundated with one team, then I was over with the other team.
Hey, get the handlebars built.
The bars are going to take, both of us. The creative process on the bars, it was something that was kind of ebbing and flowing as we were building them.
Problem is now you got to put your bar handles on there. They got to be about 10 inches.
Sometimes we start and we end up in a place a little different than we thought, but ultimately we get there.
We just started welding chain, got them to look right, welded the bars to them. In the very last minute, we got these really cool chain risers.
The bars look badass.
They're awesome.
They nailed it. So when people look at this bike, they're gonna see the bars on this thing, and they're gonna definitely tell what they are, because they're shaped as swords, and I think they're gonna get it.
Plus, I'm gonna add a piece of brass on here that's gonna just point out like that, and that'll make them look cool. Overall, Alliance is looking amazing. I thought they were a little steep, but that actually adds to the look, We got these great sword handlebars. They'll only look better when we actually put it together in the end.
We're getting to really the final steps, and what that entails is completely taking the bike apart. We have to break it down to every nut and bolt. Those individual pieces will go out to get painted, and then all those pieces come back together, and we do the final assembly and the wiring.
Now that this thing is fully broken down, I couldn't be any happier. I've spent days polishing this bike, so it's a real relief. I think the fans are going to love this bike. It's one of a kind.
The Horde has such an aggressive, tusky front end, and I just feel like the Alliance needs something to bring up the front end on that to be a little bit more aggressive. When you come back for assembly, we got to put a front fender on this bike.
No. You're going to kill the look of the bike.
I don't think so. I have to disagree.
Not that I'm super tired or anything, but Paul wants to get this front fender done, which I think is a terrible idea, because I hate it.
As much sheet metal as we have on the gas tank and the rear section, you can't leave that front bare. I know you like it without a fender, but I think we're gonna have to. As soon as you come back for assembly, we're gonna have to go ahead and start building it. We're not gonna have a lot of time.
I just feel like it needs a little bit more aggression, so we're actually gonna have to do some fab during the assembly process, which is very unusual.
I don't want to do it, man.
I'm not letting it go.
Don't know where we're gonna go from here, but I'm not gonna go willingly. I'm not doing it.
On the next Azeroth Choppers.
Today we start the final assembly. I want to build a front fender for this now during assembly, okay?
The initial thought of a front fender almost made me puke.
They like to call me Scratch and Dent.
Dude, I'm walking away.
Are you kidding me? I got the clients on the phone here.
Hey, what do you think? I planned for this to happen? It was a little embarrassing.
We're not quite done yet.